tremendous looking trophy.
Welcome to Platinum Explosion, number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias and the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias for 2021. Thank you very much. Claiming the throne, making the same joke on two different podcasts. It's fine. My name is Dylan Blight. Join me, as always, for a fresh year, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, John, excited to be here. 2021.
Want to do the same joke from Arcade Castle?
It's pretty good. I mean, COVID's still here.
Yeah.
Fast food still isn't healthy.
Yeah. Okay, we're going that way.
All the isms are still here. It's but at least there isn't an orange guy in office.
That's it. That is the moral of the story. All right. PlayStation show. PlayStation news we shall get to in just a moment. But I have a special announcement, and we're going to cut to this video.
What's the date?
It's Thursday, the 14th of January, 2021.
What's the time?
It's 11:57 a.m.
We're on holidays, Explosion Network holidays, but I've got a package, and I think I need to open it for you, for the podcast. Oh yeah. What we have here is the PlayStation camera adapter. This little cable. What seems like months of waiting for that. It's real.
That's right. I got my PSVR adapter, Ash.
They're real?
They are real. Mine arrived in the mail while we was on break, and I had to record that little video to document it. So the key question I have for you is, have you got yours yet?
No, I haven't ordered it.
Okay, so since you've given me that information, let me tell you something else very interesting. 2 days ago, another package arrived, and I opened it thinking it was going to be a book. I have 2 adapters. Fuck, that's funny. So I think I got sent 2 amongst all of my... it originally failing and then me sending that support ticket and me getting on the phone. Somewhere along the line, obviously, I've got sent 2, which is quite funny because I went from going, are these things real, to I now have 2. And maybe I can sell one for like $500,000.
I know. How much they're going for?
Yeah, I don't know. Like that's a good question. Finding how much these rare nuggets of PSVR stuff are actually worth. Now, to anyone who's like, good job, Dylan. You've got the PSVR adapter. Now tell us, how well does PSVR work on PS5? To that, I say, I don't know. I haven't used it. I haven't used it. They're both still in their plastic bags, but they're here. I would like to hopefully test out some Hitman 3 in PSVR sometime soon, and that would be the big old testaruno.
So, quick look on eBay. Someone's got one selling for currently with a bid of $40. With $8.95 Australian postage.
Fuck yeah.
Someone bravely has put got one at $50 starting price, but a buy it now price of $175.
Jesus. I really worked out well. Sit on that phone for 2 hours to get that support.
It's a camera adapter, right? So, another buy it now, $128. $59. I mean, you're sitting on a gold mine here.
Jesus. Fucking, I never realized what I was opening on that day, like... Bloody gold sitting on. So yeah, there's the bit I've been sitting on for over a week at this point. Going, when we come back from Plat, boy, have I got you. So good. Let me cut. I thought I was just
tune in next week when he actually uses it.
I thought I was being funny just recording that video and being like, that's going to be a good start for Platinum Explosion when we return. Little know that when this one turned up, I was like, man, I've got the best joke of the year already set up here. Oh, boom, smash! You really got you
too early. It's all downhill for here.
It's all downhill
from here.
All right, before we get into some games and some news, firstly, I just want to give a shout out to Damian Maher. I think that's how you say his last name. I'm sorry if I'm saying Maher.
I think it's Maher.
Maher. That's how you say it, and that's how you spell it. So he did on his YouTube channel, which we just linked in the description, of course. He did exactly what I wished I could have done last year if I was smart enough. And by what I mean by that is he went into Dreams and he made a full award show inside of Dreams. where he hands out he's like animated himself, recorded voiceover for himself, and he's handing out these awards and things. And there was a stage last year where I was like, man, it would be so cool if we were smart enough to be able to do something like that. And I was like, no, it's never going to happen. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. But this is really cool. It's it even cuts to like the camera pans around, and it goes to like gameplay for the awards he's done. I have no idea how he's done it. I'm very impressed by the video. I think it's very, very cool. I think it's great. And once again, it's proving grounds of, like Dreams is more than just Dreams. Yeah, it's like Dreams. People are making funny little silly games and rip off of games and whatever. And now people like Damian are doing these cool things. And not even games. They're just like using them to create a video that they're then posting to their YouTube channel. So Dreams is a really, really cool tool. And hopefully we'll get back to talking a little bit more about Dreams.
I will say,
this year, so.
Damian, you made a mistake. You didn't link to your Dream inside of YouTube.
I wonder if
how am I meant to go to your Dream?
That's a good question. I wonder if is it public though? Does he have the Dream public so people can play it?
I mean, that would explain the video parts. It's just edited in.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. Either way, I think it's I think it's very cool. Very, very cool. So if you want to check out the full thing, video is linked in the description.
Covering the Impies this year.
Yes, the Impies this year. They've got
not too far away.
I can't remember who they announced as hosts, but they announced a bunch of people as proper hosts, content creators this year, I think. Like kind of funny people, something along those lines. I think they announced some people. Stuff like that, I think. I don't have it in front of me because I forgot to write it down and link it, but I definitely remember reading something about that when we was on break. So the Impies are on in like a month, roughly, or something in the next couple of weeks, something like that. So far away. Looking forward to it. All right, before getting into the couple PlayStation news stories that happened while I was on the break, I thought, start of the year, better do what we got to do, which is let's find a good list of all the PS5 games confirmed to be coming this year, and let's just run down and talk about the ones where we are most excited about, or the ones that people should be most excited about if they're not already coming to PS5. So I found a list. It's Games Radar list. It has I'm going to skip through some of these because then I kind of just want to focus on games that we know are definitely PS5 exclusive or at least console exclusive or this sort of thing. And they've got some games on here that aren't. So I'll just run through those and then we'll just talk about the cool ones. So yeah, for example, on the list, they start with Hitman 3, Control Ultimate Edition, Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon, which you still haven't got.
I was so close. I almost bought it like yesterday. I looked at it. I'm like, check my phone. When's it coming to PS5? March 2nd. No cross-save. Cross-console.
So you're just committed to waiting at this
saves. Point. I'm committed to waiting at this point. It's only another month and a bit.
Damn.
It's only like 35 days.
Yeah. Hopefully nothing else is around. Doesn't it come out? Well, you want to be playing Persona 5 Strikers, won't you, though?
Yeah, it comes out mid-February. That's fine. Doesn't have enough time to finish that.
So the first big exclusive PlayStation 5 game that we know we have coming up is in March. I'll just fucking scroll past the thing. March 2nd. No, sorry. March 19th. March 19th is when Returnal comes out. So we talked about this game a little bit towards the end of last year. Of course, if you don't know, Returnal is the first time that fuck, I'm meant to blank on the studio's name. Housemarque, thank you. First time Housemarque's sort of breaking outside of their usual arcade voxel shooter type games, and they're making they're making a third person action game. But if you watch the gameplay, it basically looks like they've translated their voxel shooter actiony stuff to just a third person shooter with a horror atmosphere on a sort of Groundhog Day-ish story or something along those lines. It seems like where you're it sounds like it'll be to a degree some sort of dungeon crawler slash what's Hades? Fucking roguelike. Yeah, it seems like it'll be some degree of like a roguelike to this. So I'm very excited for this. My one dilemma, and I think one thing that could hold this game back from being potentially as big as it may deserve to be, is at least in Australia, it's costing $129 or whatever the full price tag is. And I'm not trying to say that the game isn't worth every penny. It may be when we get around to it. I just don't think people...
It's a tough ask, yeah.
Yeah, I just, like, a non-proven franchise, something like Returnal, charging that amount for it, I think you're kind of making it a hard bargain for people to do then, yeah. How are you feeling about Returnal at the moment coming into the year?
I mean, I'm not super excited for it. I'm optimistic, but it's definitely not one I'm desperate to play. Hopefully it is good for Housemarque's sake. But yeah. I mean, if it's really great, then maybe I'll pick it up, but yeah, it's not a must-buy demo.
Too many spooks.
Too many spooks. Who needs a spooks?
Too many, yeah.
Couldn't they just all be having fun?
I mean, I hate to break it to you, but in Yakuza Like a Dragon, it's not really about people just having, there's some serious shit happening in that game, Ash.
Can't they just, let you know they're coming over instead of popping out of nowhere?
I don't know, maybe they are.
Give me a little bit of warning.
Next game on this list is Kenna Bridge of Spirits, developer Ember Lab. Supposed to be coming sometime in March after it was delayed from... Was it? I think it was like a December or late. No, it was after launch of PS5, but it was supposed to be like shortly after or something like that. So, this was originally revealed at the
Future Gaming event.
Was it revealed there? Was it when I was trying to remember if it was. And then it became a big part of the PlayStation reveal event afterwards. And then there was a whole heap of more marketing and whatever else for it. It basically looks like, in case you've forgot what it looks like, it stars a young lady, I guess, who's like got these little cool critter friends that look like they're from a Studio Ghibli movie, and it seems like an action adventure game where you'll have to solve puzzles and do some sort of combat and pet the little cute friends and all that sort of stuff. It's a very beautiful game from what we've seen in the trailer. Stunning art design and these sorts of things. So I'm definitely super excited for this one. This could end up being one of those like new IP indie game of the year contender type things. I feel. How are you feeling about it?
Yeah. Can I say it's a cuties game?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're past the stage where
everybody forgot about it already. It's a new year.
Yeah.
It's like a full new year, reset all the bad.
Yeah. Kind of for some things.
Kind of. I'm keen. It looks beautiful, so I'm sure it will run really well on the PS5 and kind of showcase what it can do. So, get them ray tracings.
Them ray traces.
Get those little cute critters run around in the rays. I'd get traced.
Yeah,
that's how it works.
I feel like this year might be
I look forward to making this entire generation making jokes like this.
That makes sense. Next game on their list, I have Outriders. That is coming to multiple platforms, though, but I am excited about that. Resident Evil 8 Village. Talk a little bit about that soon because I have played the demo. Then I've got Deathloop here as the next one. So Deathloop is a PlayStation exclusive, even in case currently. Amongst all that Bethesda getting brought by Xbox stuff last year, Deathloop did remain at least far as for a year. I would assume at least for a year or however long the deal is. It is going to be a PlayStation exclusive. Coming out on May 21st, 2021, developed by Arcane Loin. Very cool. Once again, it's a year of Groundhog type games, I guess, to a degree.
Time loops.
Time loop stuff is...
Everyone loves time loops.
It's all taken off now. No more zombies. No more zombie games. No more battle royales.
Just time loop games.
Time loop games. That's what we're all about this year. So you play. It's one of those weird games where they're like it is single player, but if you choose to play the way we want online, people can invade your games. That's quite weird. So you play as a character who is trying to escape this island or something along those lines, and by
killing all these people.
Yeah, there's like
in the same day.
I think there's like 4 or 5 bosses targets, basically who you've got to take out. And you've got to do it all in one life, basically. And to make things harder, you can have someone invade your game and play as this other character who can kill you. And of course, you can. I don't know if you have to unlock it by doing something, but you will be able to do the same if you wish to be that kind of person in the game. Presumably, of
and
course,
I'm sure there will be a lot
of people
who want to be that.
For sure. Presumably, given the type of game it is, it'll be like, okay, you start with one weapon or what, there has to be some sort of roguelite progression system to help make you stronger, be that by weapons available, health, special abilities and powers, unlocking shortcuts in the world to get to your targets faster. I expect all of this stuff to be part of the game to the degree where it's like, okay, it took me 5-6 hours to beat this boss the first time, but by the time you finish the game, you can, it's no different than we talked about playing Hades last year, where it's like, okay, well, the first time I beat the game, it took me like nearly an hour to complete a run. That's after, spending 10, 15 hours without even getting to the end of that game. And then once you get down pack and you beat a couple times, people are beating it in like 8 minutes or less, who are really good at the game, Yeah, I know. And the best I've done is like whatever it was, just shy of 20 or something like that, which I thought was pretty fucking good for myself at the time. But I expect this to have that same sort of thing. And Arcane, of course, did the I'm having a fucking day. It's probably because we recorded a lot today. Dishonored. Sorry, all the games start with D.
Dishonored and Prey.
Dishonored and Prey, and they've got this. They do a really great job at creating special power ups and flow between all their abilities in the games and the combat. It's not like they have Call of Duty-esque first person shooting. It's more about the powers and abilities, how you combine them. It's like a Bioshock type thing to a degree. So I'm super excited for this one. How are you feeling about?
Yeah, I'm very keen for this. If they can nail like the story elements and that kind of stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if this is an early game of the year contender.
I feel like 2 years ago, this definitely would have been on your radar.
Wouldn't have, yeah.
No, yeah, you've come around on some of the
stuff.
Some of the stuff, yeah. Next one on this list here, they have Back 4 Blood. I'm excited to learn more about that, but I don't think it's PlayStation exclusive. Then they've got Solar Ash, which is being published by Annapurna Interactive, which is basically, I feel like, the game equivalent of A24 to a degree, but I haven't seen enough of that to really understand what it's about. I know it's like the follow-up to Hyperlight. Yeah, that's it. But I need to see more about that one. Little Devil Inside. So this one is developer NeoStream Interactive. They write here that it was first kickstarted back in, by they, by the way, I mean Games Radar, in case you forgot whose list I'm reading. Games Radar writes that it was originally kickstarted back in 2015 before its debut trailer was shown off during the PS5 reveal stream. That it'll be a timed exclusive to PS5. It's an RPG with survival elements. Little Devil is set in a Victorian-like era in a semi-open world. The trailer showed off a whole host of monsters and also gave us a brief glimpse of some of the combat elements and features. So I feel like some people may have let this game slip their mind, because I think during that original showcase, it definitely was one of the standout ones that everyone was talking about. But
it was a brilliantly put together trailer.
Yes. But also, because of the way the news works and everything, they have not followed that up with another trailer or any news really. And I feel like that potentially would, that, you know how news works. People are easy to kind of forget these days, but this definitely was one of the best trailers. And going back and even like skipping through it now on screen, I'm like, wow, this is, the first time this showed up, you literally are like, what the fuck is this game? Like it looks so random and nonsensical. It just has so many like random events and things happening where someone's like chasing down animals or camping, and like, I guess it all ties into, they're like, well, it's sort of an RPG, sort of a survival thing. And at other times it seems like the game's like, you know, it's showing off stuff happening back at town, wherever the fuck, like London or wherever the hell it's set, this type of thing. It's weird. It's almost looks like a Wes Anderson if he made a video game to a degree, you know,
a little bit.
Right. Very excited for this one though, and I do want this one to do quite well, because I was real happy with the way they handled that criticism back when the original trailer dropped as well. Because
about the masked.
The tribes or whatever it was in the game, that some people criticized that it's like, well, you know, you can't, you're sort of using, I guess, tribe native culture. I get whatever the proper wording is that were criticized for that, which I was like, yeah, fair. I never thought that when I was watching it, of course. I was like, but when I read that, I was like, that's a fair criticism for people to have. And instead of spitting it like a lot of people I was real happy. They were like, you know what, that's fine, and we can change it because it's not an integral part of the game for them to be presented that way. So we'll just change it. I was like, what a fucking adult way to respond to that sort of criticism. I always thought that was great of them. So really excited for that one. Next one they've got on their list is Stray. So this again is coming from publisher and a developer Blue 12 Studio. In case you forgot what this game is the cat game. And I feel like that should be...
The cat game in the world of robots.
Yeah. And I feel like that is the description. We don't really know anything else about it other than you play as a cat in like a cyberpunkish world where it seems that no humans exist anymore. And really, actually, the only... I can't remember if there was anything else in the trailer that was even living other than the cat, right? Like there was no other animals from memory.
Not that we saw in the trailer.
It was all literally like, okay, well, this cat is the only, what do you call it?
Organic.
Like, organic life. Yeah, that's the word I was trying to think of. The only organic life left on this planet or something like that. I think they said it's like a puzzle adventure game or something along those lines, which makes sense. Yeah, I mean, there's not many games where you get to play as a cat, so that's intriguing enough. I'm definitely keen for this one. Are you excited for this one?
Yeah, I'm keen for this one. I've got it, whatever it's called, inside the PS Store. Wishlisted, or there's another thing where they'll keep you informed or whatever, but they've never done like a post.
Following or something like that?
Following or something like that, yeah.
I do. How'd you find it? Did you look on the upcoming or something? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Didn't even know. Don't even know how to use my PlayStation. Let's cancel the podcast. Don't even know it. Next game is...
I will say,
yeah.
I just discovered... So there's a bunch of times you and Buddy have popped up on the chat and I haven't seen it because I'm like watching YouTube or something. I realized I can change the notification. So it does pop up while I'm watching something. So then I can quit watching.
To join the
Critical Role or something to come and play.
Because shout out to that fit, because I still love how... Because obviously when I used to try and organize games, like Buddy messaged me or like, whatever, like, all right, I'm on now, like jumping on or, whatever. Yeah. And now it'll just be like, hey, I'm just going to get on around 10 o'clock or whatever. And then don't even need to like message and say I'm on, because if anyone's just sitting there, like if I'm sitting there waiting for him, you're sitting there playing game or whatever. I love how he can just jump into a chat. Don't have to start a new one. Just have this chat. Just jump into it. It pops up notification, and you just have to quickly press one button. It's like, okay, you're in. I love it. I know it was like very there was a lot of people when they announced like the party system changes, so it was like less party changes, more like built on these groups. People were like, oh, how's that going to work? Stuff. Fucking love it. It's like one of my favorite things about the PS5 and the whole new ecosystem is the party thing. The fact it'll pop up on your phone and.
Yeah. I jump in with my number one down feature.
Mm-hmm.
Still having trouble turning it off. Just the muscle memory from the PS3.
Oh, you mean the console in general? Like turning it off?
Yep. Just be several tries to get to the menu.
I think I've got it down, because I'm pretty sure now whenever I do it, I just click the button, click down once, and then I just hold left, because I'm usually closer to the left. Yep. And if you click, it'll loop back to the end. You don't have to click right like 8 times or whatever. You can just go left across. So I think as soon as I realized that shortcut of just being able to loop it, that kind of solved any of my issues.
It's just muscle memory.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just hold down the button and then it goes to the main menu. I'm like, that's all I want.
You'll get used to it.
Yeah.
Everyone get used to it.
Back to the story.
Yeah. Next game on the list was Ghostwire Tokyo, which I got to be honest. Of all the games on this list so far, this is the one I would say would be one of my ones I would say may get delayed, but we shall see anyway. I know they've shown off gameplay and that sort of stuff now, but it's apparently supposed to come out in October of 2021 at some point. This one is Tokyo Gameworks game, the studio that does Evil Within. That's it. I was about to say Evil Dead because I was talking about that recently, but that's not what I was trying to think of. And it most prominent from the E3 showcase because the whatever her name was, I can't even remember it now. I'm sorry. The
Kumi Nakamura.
Something sounds about right. Who was the lead at the time working on this? She came out and everyone thought she was adorable and turned her into a bit of a,
and then she quit.
Yeah, turned her into a bit of a internet meme for a while there, and then she actually quit. So that makes me slightly worried about this game, but nonetheless, it did have a cool concept. And
Ikumi Nakamura.
There you go. Who's now doing something that I think she hasn't actually announced.
Being a mother.
Yeah, but I think, didn't she say she had another job that she couldn't talk about or something? No?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
So there's a lot of interesting questions I have to do with that, considering, like that was only like a couple months after E3, I think all that happened. So, but the game definitely looks interesting. It's like weird paranormal creatures invading Tokyo and you got to fight them and whatever else. I know when they announced it, it was like, hey, this is a horror game. But then as soon as gameplay came out, it was like, well, this isn't a horror game. This is like a fucking anime game at this point. Like with this looks like Bleach, kind of like.
Yes, definitely.
More than anything else. So still, there's my anime reference. Yeah, fucking give me fucking 10 points for Dylan getting an anime. Fucking, that's right. I'm still keen to find out more. Next game they have on their list here is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. So this is supposed to be coming out some point this year. We may have a closer release date. We'll tie that into a news story a little bit later. But Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, I feel like out of all the big PlayStation games that we know was supposed to come in 2021, this is the one that everyone can, I feel, sit back quite happy and know that it's going to release. This is the one that we've seen the most of. It's the one that Sony's been quite happy to show off several times now. From all accounts, the one that's been in development the longest, and one of the most anticipated games for myself for 2021 for sure, simply because I actually feel like a lot in part due to Astro to a degree. Like, of how much I love playing Astro's Playroom and just like having that 3D platform and mascot type thing, and that game using all the features and enjoying all of the DualSense features, and just assuming, because we know this is a pretty game. Like, they've shown off. It's beautiful, very colorful game. Looks like a fucking cartoon come to life. More than any, looks better than Ratchet and Clank's ever looked before, of course. These games always have fantastic characters, humor, all that sort of stuff. We know we're in for a good time. But then you've also got the stuff they're showing off in the trailers where, thanks to the PS5's SSD, they can literally do this thing where they're jumping between worlds, no load times, like you could never do this sort of stuff in live in-game before. It would be like cutscenes or whatever, pre-rendered cutscenes and stuff. But after playing Astros and getting an understanding of the DualSense and how the haptic feedback and how all that sort of stuff plays into it, adaptive triggers and stuff, boy, and how much it's not just a gimmick, and how much it can actually enhance the game and make it so much more enjoyable like it did with Astros. I'm presuming this game's going to take full advantage of all those features as well, because it's a first-party game. Exclusive big title that could perfectly use all of those things, and I'm all about it, especially because Ratchet, much how I said, like, imagine Apex Legends using all the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, and how all of those guns in that game have like, unique sci-fi properties, and would be really cool. Ratchet & Clank, of course, is known for having a wide variety of weapons and power-ups and silly weapons and silly power-ups and these sorts of things, and imagining how different those would all feel and sound with the DualSense, that's probably one of the things I'm most excited about when I first pick it up and play it, just how all of that's going to work with the DualSense. But yeah, I'm super, super, super excited for Ratchet and Clank. How about you?
Oh yeah, this might be my most anticipated game of the year. Insomniac, don't put a foot wrong. I would make a very strong case that Insomniac is currently the best developer working at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with it, but because for the same sort of reasons I give as to why, as much as I like The Last of Us, we can't say Naughty Dog is, because I feel like if we're going to say a studio is one of the best studios.
Yeah, I think before, at the start of 2020, Naughty Dog and CD Projekt Red would have been right at the top of the list, and then, 2020 happened.
Like, and that's not shitting on everyone that works there. It's just simply saying, like,
no,
if we're gonna,
and obviously they've had very divisive years.
yeah, like if we're gonna award studios like best studio working at the moment or something like that, it shouldn't just be about the games that they're making, but it should also be the studio culture and these sorts of things. So yeah, Insomniac, as far as we know, has a fine,
amazing
development culture, and they make fantastic games
and regular games.
Yes, not
it's crazy,
and very varied genres and styles and this sort of stuff. So, very excited, very 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 excited for Ratchet and Clank. I feel like we would be approaching the end of January. Just as we're talking about this, I'm feeling like we haven't had. State of Plays kind of went to shit last year because they all just turned into weird, like, sort of PS5 things. But I'm like, come on, let's get back into like a semi-regular State of Play thing.
Yeah,
more details on Ratchet Clank, another teaser trailer for Horizon or something. You know, like, come on.
And then be like, yeah, God of War's not coming this year.
Yeah, well, I'll be very fucking surprised, but we'll might have something about that in a second. They got Rainbow Six Quarantine on here. I actually think that game is just straight up going to be cancelled at some stage here, to be honest. But
it's the same as Overwatch 2. It's just not coming.
Yeah, it's just not coming. Far Cry 6, they'll come, but it's not PlayStation exclusive. Cool. God of War 2 Ragnarok, or whatever the fuck it's called. So yes, as we're saying, God of War 2 was announced. Of course, you all saw the trailer. It's a fucking PlayStation podcast. I don't feel like I need to explain it. Everyone would have seen the goddamn trailer. The trailer literally ends with Ragnarok is coming. Everyone's assuming the game will be called God of War Ragnarok. I'll be surprised if it isn't at this point, but the standout thing was at the end of the trailer, it did say 2021. It did say 2021.
Let me chuck out crazy theory.
Mm-hmm.
What if we get a prelude this year?
See, I saw
in the vein of Ground Zeroes or something like that.
Well, see, the other thing I saw someone chuck out that I could buy into in a similar sort of vein is, what if this God of War game isn't God of War 2, but it's like Uncharted Lost Legacy, or like it's not a fully fledged, it's not like the next sequel. It's something they've been working on while, you know what I mean? Like it's not the
It could be sequel. Spoilers for God of War, but it could be set sometime between the end of the game and the very end of the game.
Yeah. Look, at this stage, if you're listening to this and you haven't played God of War spoilers are open. We're going to be talking about the sequel for the rest of the year if it is actually announced and what it isn't. So, yeah, spoilers for God of War on the table. So, what you're saying is, end of the game ends on top of a fucking mountain, and then the after credits scene is inside the hut
go to sleep.
Back at home.
They go to sleep for like hundreds of years, apparently.
Or however long it is. Then they wake up and then Thor's there. It's like, Ragnarok's coming.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they could do a mini game where it's just a random, non-world-ending event storyline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. That could be a thing. But considering it said Ragnarok is coming, it's hard to not assume it's the sequel, unless they're saying Ragnarok is coming after this game.
That's the title of the game. Ragnarok is coming.
Yeah. This is just it's a demo. Open Roads is the next game. I don't recall. I think this is multi-platform, but shout outs to that anyway, because I'm definitely super excited for this. Developer Fulbright, who of course did Tacoma and Gone Home, has this very cool comic booky or like almost like X-Men 90s cartoon art style is weirdly how it sort of reminds me or something along those lines, like to that.
Well, it helps that the mother has white
streak. rogue streak.
Very rogue,
yeah. So I'm definitely excited for that one. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Of course, this was supposed to come out late last year, but it actually got delayed. I know this is the game that people like to pick on.
They found a really nice screenshot to use in this article.
What, of the vampire lady? What's wrong with
a good looking one.
What's wrong with the vampire lady? Like, but they're all the rage now.
Yeah, I'm talking about all the other people in the game who look ugly.
Oh, come on now. Like I'm sure they're all
jokes.
I'm sure there's some more beautiful people in this game. I am actually excited for this though, and I know I've said this before, but I'll just say it again because I do feel like there's a lot of shitting on this game because of that trailer because the trailer was at a next gen event and it didn't look like a next gen game. It got hit with a lot of flack, and I was like, well, they never actually said it was a a next gen game. Like, they were like, it's coming to the consoles. Anyway, never played any of these games before. I think this looks really cool. I would like to play it. So then they've got
This is the year the World of Darkness comes.
Full swing.
Full swing.
Popular outside of the tabletop world, I guess. Yeah. GTA 5 is on here. Will I play it on PS5? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
I'm surprised they haven't released PS5
yet?
update yet.
Well, because they're doing a straight up PS5 version. Remember?
Yeah, why isn't that ready?
I don't
what have
know.
Rockstar been doing?
I don't know. Fucking. Hopefully, not whipping their fucking developers like they're known for. So that'd be great. I do find it funny though. Like I did tweet the other day how I still haven't played any. I still haven't played GTA 5, even though I brought it on PS3, brought it on PS4, never even booted it up on both copies owned. So I feel like at least I have to buy this, and then even if I don't play it, sell
Epic
it.
Game Store as well, right?
Yeah,
was that?
redeemed it.
Was
Yeah,
it free?
they redeemed it there. So I've got it around. Never played it.
It's option.
It's an option. Yeah. They've got Lord of the Rings Golem here. That's a game that I'm highly intrigued by, but it's not PlayStation exclusive. But shout out to that, being developed by Daedalic Entertainment. The last game of theirs I played was Pillars of Eternity, which is a cool adventure novel type game, or whatever you want to call it, puzzle adventure game. But now they're making a Lord of the Rings game.
I think it was Pillars of Eternity.
What? No, that's the RPG one.
Yeah.
It was Pills or something along those lines. I can't even remember the fucking name of it.
Yeah.
But that was nothing like a Golem game is what I'm trying to say. So I'm intrigued to find out more about the Golem. Now, this next game is one that I'm very disappointed that we haven't seen anything more about since it was shown off. And that game is Goodbye Volcano High. So it doesn't have a solid release date yet, sometime in 2021.
Sorry, Pillars of the Earth. That's the one.
There we go. Pillars of the Earth. Games Radar writes here. I'll just read this in case you forgot what this game is. Goodbye Volcano High follows the story of a dinosaur teens in their final year at high school. As a choice-based narrative game with beautiful hand-painted backgrounds, you'll follow the teenagers as they try to figure out where to go next and what they want to be. Along with all the struggles of entering adulthood, you can also try to find love along the way. With a non-binary protagonist, a lovely art style, and its story-driven focus on the themes we can all relate to, Goodbye Volcano looks set to tug at your heartstrings. Everything about this game's art style, through to its theme, setting, like the high school setting, the fucking all that sort of stuff. Like the fact it's dinosaur characters, I'm like, perfect. It's still just a teen high school drama, like at heart, and that's all about it. And it's got this amazing art style, amazing character designs, and these sorts of things. So I am definitely super, super excited for this. I reckon if I was making a list of my current like top 5 games I'm most excited about, I reckon this would be like top 5. I just wish we had more information or another trailer.
Yeah,
I just want more.
It's been 6 months since we've seen anything for it, so
I just have such high hopes built up in my head at this stage. It just looks so good. Please don't let me go. Okay, I don't want to hype myself up too much, but I'm all about these dinosaurs. Are you excited for this one?
yeah, I'm excited for this one. Give it to us already. Done.
Yeah. Goodbye, Volcano High. Until you give us a release date.
Goodbye. Hopefully we'll sign high soon.
Yeah, there we go. Next game on the list is, as we approach sort of the back end of stuff here, kind of, Horizon Forbidden West. So I don't feel like we need to explain what Horizon Forbidden West is. It's a sequel to Horizon. Do you think this is coming out this year?
Yes.
Yes. You're sure? What makes you
Yes.
so
I
sure?
think their plan was it was going to come out earlier this year. I think the plan is now late this year. I don't think they would have shown so much of it. This is yeah. They wouldn't have shown so much of it if it wasn't coming this year, I don't think.
So on that question, do you think...
And they would have said, hey, it's coming out on PS4 as well.
Yeah.
If it wasn't coming out this year.
So, do you think we're getting God of War this year? And then
not unless it's what we said it was going to be.
Well, if it is that, then what months? What do you reckon we're looking at here? So Ratchet and Clank is presumably soon.
Yeah, I'd say the April, May mark.
For Horizon.
No, for
Ratchet.
I reckoned Horizon, probably like October, November.
And then a God of
And then
War.
if it's a God of War special, whatever, tiny game, like it could be around the same time as well.
Banging out like they did Ghosts and Last of Us last year.
Yeah.
Like a month apart or whatever it was, which seemed ridiculous at the time, but it kind of. By the end of the
Kinda
year,
worked out
everyone
for
was
both.
like, "These are both game of the years."
These
So
are the two games.
yeah, everyone was like, "No, we didn't forget about these. These are both stood on their own." I guess that's the thing. Like, even if they're PlayStation exclusive, as long as they're not too similar, which those games weren't. So you're not like treading in your own. It's not like when EA released Battlefield and Titanfall on the same fucking day. It's like,
it's like,
come on,
same game.
It's like people are like they're first person shooters. Like I understand one is mechs, but brass taxes, they're both first person shooters. Gotham Knights is next game, not exclusive, but cool. Heavenly Bodies. So I completely forgot about this until I skimmed through the trailer for this before, and I still just think this game looks like a co-op space game. So cool. Quantum Error. So this was supposed to be out by now. It's got delayed, obviously. I've been excited for this one because this was actually one of the first official games that someone said, this is a PS5 game. Like, this is a PS5 game. It was prior to all the reveals and this sort of stuff. It's one where you play as a firefighter going into a, I can't remember what it was, some facility where something's gone wrong, and then they find like monsters and shit in there. It looks like Dead Space with a firefighter or something like that. Yeah. I reckon it looks cool. The gameplay they showed off, I was like, yeah, it looks like they don't have the budget for what they're trying to do here because it is a indie team, but I'm still kind of hoping it'll turn out to be pretty good. So hopefully we'll get a full release there for that soon. Next game they've got here is Project Athia, which is a working title. Developer Luminous Productions.
Okay, so a lot of these ones aren't coming this year.
Yeah. Like, that's not coming this year. Suicide Squad Kills Justice League is 2022. Callisto Protocol 2022. Hogwarts Legacy, we know it got delayed. And then the last one on the list is a 2023 game, Pragmata. So there's
another page. Final Fantasy 16 not coming this year. Season, the game from Scavenger Studios.
TBC. I expect that to come out. That looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks like it could come out this year.
I'm all about that. That fucking trailer.
Dying Light 2.
No, that game's cancelled.
It could drop like today, or it could just never come out. I feel like
that game is never coming out
because they like showed a very extensive look at it, and then nothing.
They've had so many troubles at that studio. So, by the way, I had to open up this season trailer just to give it a quick squeeze again. This game, and I know it's like they said it's like. What did they say it was? It was just taking photographs or something like that. Wasn't that I think that's the stick. So. It's like something. But holy shit, does this game's art style... Like, if this game looks this good... Oh my god. That's a very pretty looking game. That's very pretty looking, yeah.
But it's like... apparently the Goodbye Volcano High people said that because of the PS5 specs, they can make the art as good as possible and not have to worry about it affecting the memory at all. So... That's why
the highest
games are going to look as
possible PNG files. I don't know how.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's how. It works.
That's how it actually.
Condensed or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Uncompressed files.
Uncompressed files.
Something to do with that probably. And then nothing else. They've got the last game on the list that may come out this year that's PlayStation exclusive is Gran Turismo Sport, which I will say I would expect that to come out this year. And I would.
Is it called Sport?
Actually, no. Now that I've said it, I think it's just Gran Turismo Untitled.
Gran Turismo.
So I think that Sport was the last one. I didn't realize. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I just read it. That's what I get for just believing what I read on a page.
Yeah.
But no, and I'll probably pick that up and not play it like a hardcore fan, but just as a hey, how good does a racing game on the PS5 feel? How good does the DualSense work for a racing game that's taking advantage of it? Like these are just questions I'd wonder,
So I feel like with the integration of like the PS5 UI, user interface and that kind of stuff with like leaderboards and that kind of stuff, it could be something that you pick up occasionally like so-and-so beat my score on this track.
Take
a minute and kick their
kick their butt. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say the other thing that helps make that a plausible scenario is if it only takes like 20 seconds or less to fucking load. Because I know every other Gran Turismo game that I've like, I can't remember what last one I played was on PS4. I don't remember if it was the last one or one before that. One of them I played though for a few hours. And oh my God, it took like 5 minutes to start, I think. Like by the time you load in, load this, load that screen, load this. And then by the time you click through all the menus and click start match, it spends like a minute fucking loading into the match. You're like, come on.
If load times are non-existent, that makes it so much more appealing.
Yeah. To be like, oh, I'll just quickly jump in, do a race, try and beat my friend's score. Yeah. Whereas before, I'd be like, no, fucking. No. By the time it takes to boot this game up, I better be playing it for like all day. to commit to it at that point. All right, so the only thing I've actually played on my PlayStation in the last 2 weeks or whatever it was, other than a couple hours of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which I'm not going to talk about, was I did play the Resident Evil Village demo after they announced, of course, if you want to hear us, me, Ash, and Kieran talk about all the Resident Evil Village details, not really Ash, but he was there, details on this past week's episode of Arcade Couch, to go listen to that for more. But I'll just talk a little bit about the demo. The demo I thought was really cool. It took me about 20 minutes to beat. I know people are like speed running it and saying like, I can do it in like fucking 30 seconds and stuff. I'm like,
jeez,
cool.
You guys are weird.
I was, I don't know, taking my time, enjoying the sights. I don't know, like I was just no rush over here. Or I was just too scared and I didn't leave a room for several minutes because there were spooky noises outside it. Who's to say what was possibly happening?
You just needed to check out all the scraps of paper.
Yeah, I just
get all the
like,
facts.
yeah, I just needed to make sure. I was actually trying to find other pieces of paper though. There's some interesting little details hidden in some of those little bits of paper. But if you have any interest in Resident Evil Village, then I would say check out the demo. It's a really cool demo. It's nothing connected to the.
Yeah, it's separate, right?
Completely separate.
Like
it's called
Prelude or something.
Yeah, it's called Resident Evil. What is it? Maher? No,
Maiden.
Maiden. I was gonna say Maher. Maiden demo. Yeah. So the demo starts. You awaken this jail cell, and then you obviously been captured by the vampire lady, tall lady that you see in the Village trailer, and then you escape. You have to solve a couple sort of smallish puzzles. Mostly there's no monsters to fight or anything like that. And then spoilers for the end of the demo, you finally find this key and you're like, oh my God, you run to the door to open it up because you're going to escape. And of course, as you open up the door, in she walks, vampire lady herself. And, there was a bit before that where one of her little vampire little spooky ladies, she appeared out of nowhere and I think she called me a bitch and then she bit my neck and I was like, that's not very nice. I'm going to run away from you now. And then I ran right into the bigger one. And that wasn't very nice either because I think she killed me. So that's fine. That was a Resident Evil Village. From a technical point, that was really cool. So I don't think there was anything like mind-blowing about the overall technical side to me. I did think like, what would you call it, like design wise, it was really cool. Like there's lots of highly detailed pieces of like things throughout this castle. In the small bit you get to explore in this demo, like you got these really highly detailed bookcases and chairs and like there's lots of things strewn around the rooms and the dungeon, the way it looks, and just you can kind of it just fucking looks like it would smell if you had smell-o-vision type thing. Like these are really well detailed, designed worlds, which is really great for and what you kind of expect for a big budget horror game, I guess. The other thing is it does have 3D audio, and that's the thing that stood out the most playing with my headphones on, because there's like one point where I'm like, there was like halfway through a demo, I'm just like, oh man, there was one part before this where I like walked outside of a door. And then up ahead, you could see like someone, like the door's just slightly ajar and you see someone's like shadowy figure walk past it. And then you just hear off in the distance, like clip, clop, like of heels walking down the hall. And I'm like, not going out there until I think they've left the building. And it just like hearing them off in the distance, like the tap of the heels, like just, it's hard to explain, of course, if it's a sound thing, but it sounds really cool. And then there was another part where when I finally went out there and you're like in this big like entrance hole to the castle or whatever it is, and I'm like walking down the staircase or whatever, and then like behind me, it feels like someone like it sounded like someone right on my neck kind of went up to it and then whispered in my ear like, "You're not gonna leave here." And I was like, "Oh, no, I don't like it. Maybe I shouldn't play it with headphones," because actually that was probably the scariest elements of playing the demo was actually the sound stuff more so than if I was playing it with just my TV audio, it probably wouldn't have been as scary. Like it was the headphones on full experience type thing. So cool demo though, free, get it on the store. They did announce in that thing that there will be a Novo demo coming that'll go to old platforms that I presume is going to be a traditional demo where it'll be a slice of the game and probably show off and showcase the combat of Resident Evil Village. So if that's something you're more interested in, like how the combat works in the game, then I guess wait for that one. But the Maiden demo is pretty damn cool. It's pretty cool. All right, let's run down some news stories, PlayStation news stories that have happened while I've been off. Not that much, as would kind of expect. The start of the year is usually pretty quiet when it comes to gaming news. Like we hit the stage in December, and then through most of January, it's like you have a month there of not much happening, but especially just straight up PlayStation related. But so first thing I want to say is that, hey, if this episode's out Wednesday, you're listening in the morning, and the PlayStation Plus games have already been announced, and like usual, then this story may be a little bit redundant, but I just want to shout it out because I nearly forgot until the other day. So the other day, Destruction AllStars put out a brand new trailer called Meet Your AllStars, and it introduces you to the characters in the game, the heroes or whatever the fuck they're calling them in the game, the drivers, I guess would probably make more sense. And you know, they're a colorful cast of characters, but I literally, until this trailer dropped, I opened up YouTube and saw it there because I was, subscribed to the PlayStation channel or whatever. Until this popped up, I was like, oh yeah, it's nearly February, which means Destruction AllStars is about to come out. I think it was off my radar because it didn't have a release date, and the reason it didn't have a release date is because it was
delayed. It's
delayed until PlayStation Plus of February. So because of that, I hadn't put it on any of our calendars. I hadn't really had to think about it. It was just off my radar a little bit. And then when this came out, I was like, wow, cool. I'm kind of excited about this game now, more so than I was originally. It's because I'm like, I don't have to worry about like having to buy it or people getting bored and not playing it, or servers being dead at launch, or any of these sorts of things, because people are going to be playing it. It's free on PlayStation Plus, and people are going to be like, cool, I finished all these games. February's great, cool. Hitman's done. Whatever people are playing, I'll dive into my PlayStation Plus. Free PS5 game. Fuck yeah. Let's go. So I'm pretty keen to dive into this because it just looks kind of silly, ridiculous. I still don't understand how you win the game, but
yeah, I don't know what the gameplay is. I don't know what the objectives are, but it looks interesting.
Yeah. So I feel like we're going to be playing it. I'm hoping it's really good. I'm hoping that it's a surprise, like multiplayer hit. Really, that'd be nice. Like after all this,
it would,
because it's kind of had a shit talk since launch of people being like, "Don't care for that. Don't care for that. Looks like a rip off of Rocket League and Destruction Derby or something. Who cares for this game?" So it'll be really nice if it came out and everyone was like, "You know what? This fucking game, it's pretty fucking cool." That'd be a cool success story. So yeah, that'll be out soon. Presumably, PlayStation Plus games have a date. If I was to look at my calendar now, we would be presuming they would come out on when they come out Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. I can't even remember. They come out Wednesday morning, I think. So I presume they're coming out on the 3rd. That'd be my guess. Destruction AllStars and something else, I guess. A PS4 game.
I assume 2 other things?
Yeah, 2 PS4 games, I guess. Yeah, that'd make sense. All right, so next news story, VG 24/7 writes, rumors point to studio handling the next Uncharted title. It seems there's a new team at Sony's San Diego studio tasked with working on existing PlayStation franchises. That's according to a LinkedIn profile for the developer's former boss, Michael Mubaya. as spotted by Reset Era, which says that he helped create a, quote, brand new all-star team to work on a AAA action-adventure title. This is seemingly separate from the already existing Sony San Diego team, responsible for MLB The Show. The creation of this new studio doesn't seem to be particularly new. In the featured section of his profile, Mumbai links back to a number of videos, including one from the YouTuber Robin Gaming with the headline, Sony is secretly building a new PlayStation studio ... to make Uncharted 5. The section is curated by the LinkedIn account holder, so it seems like an intentional move by him, but it could also be the former San Diego studio chief messing with people reading his platform. So I just thought I'd read this and do a little bit of a pulse check, because I feel like we haven't talked about this for like 6 months at this stage. Coming into 2021, give me some odds that they announce this Uncharted 5 / whatever it is, next Uncharted game. Do you still think it's happening? Give me some percentages.
I don't think it gets announced till later in the year, if it's going to be coming out at all.
Do you think it exists? Do you think that's what's actually happening?
Maybe, yeah. I feel like Uncharted is such a franchise that
actually I'm wearing
there's a concern about
video viewers. I've got my Uncharted 4 shirt.
What a coincidence!
What a coincidence!
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people connect Nathan Drake to Uncharted, so I would be surprised. Especially, I guess the other question is, how much do they want to do an Uncharted thing when the movie's coming out with Nathan Drake in it? It'll be weird if they release a Uncharted game that doesn't have Nathan Drake in it at the same time.
So I was thinking about this. And I don't want this, but would it not just make the most sense for them to literally just do young Nathan Drake adventures, the game? You know what I mean? To tie in with, not that it's a movie game that ties into the plot of the movie, but to make an Uncharted game that is set at the same age that Tom Holland's Drake is supposedly set.
Yes, but they said they're done with Nathan Drake.
Naughty Dog said that.
I feel like they wouldn't want to upset Naughty Dog, even though there's nothing Naughty Dog could do about it. But
what if it's a straight up tie-in game where Tom Holland's done the mocap and everything?
Then we'd know about it already.
The movie, the game.
We would know about it already.
Maybe he's learning. maybe he's finally,
Maybe he's like, all these times it's getting delayed and stuff. We might as well just make a game about it as well, just in case.
Maybe. World works.
Not that much time.
World works in weird ways, VG247 also had this story. PS5 game release dates quietly removed from CES 2021 trailer. So this happened, I think, like early in their time off. But in CES 2021 keynote, Sony showed off a trailer and had a bunch of games in it. And it originally listed a bunch of release dates. And then this information has since been deleted from the trailer. And Sony has sort of done that whole thing where they're like, if anyone asks them about it, they're like, what? What trailer? Oh, I didn't say, no, there was no dates in that trailer. That'd be ridiculous, that sort of attitude. So the information was, as VG247 writes here, amongst the information listed, we saw dates for Capcom's Pragmata pushed back to 2023, Square Enix's Project Athia listed as January 2022, cat-based indie game Stray set for October 2021, Kenna Bridge of Spirits March 2021, Solar Ash June 2021, Little Devil Inside July 2021, and Ghostwire Tokyo of October 2021. Ratchet & Clank Rift and Horizon Forbidden West both got vague 2021 listings. So, do you think this was just someone doing what they did with that Demon Souls trailer where they put coming to PC, but then they were like, yeah, that's not happening, but it may be happening in like 2 years, but like...
Yeah, I think so. Because all the ones they listed are not first-party games. It's like, probably someone's got sent the dates for all these things and just stuck them on the thing, knowing they weren't supposed to.
Possible.
Work from home, trying to figure out all these events, mistakes happen.
I'll tell you what though. I remember when the story posted, I was like, fuck yeah. Give me that leaked Ratchet & Clank date. And the fact that it still has just 2021, I'm like, come on. Like, I'm going to throw it out there. End of March. Or, no. Mid-April. Yeah?
Yeah.
Or end of March. That's my rough 4-week period for Ratchet at the moment. That's what I'm thinking.
What did I say? April, May?
Something like that, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I'm hoping that they'll actually do a state of play in February and be like, well, January is like, you know.
It's like, hey.
Whatever.
Here's all these cool weapons inside Ratchet and Clank. Here's all these interesting worlds to visit. This is what that female Lombax is called.
Yeah.
Here's a release date.
Well, I feel like we're kind of due.
Buy this cool statue.
They should do a state of play soon, because not only should they show off Ratchet and Clank and be like, hey, buy this game, it's coming out end of March, middle of May, whatever the fuck, and here's your first proper release date for a PS5. Because at the moment, we are in a kind of limbo-ish state of, hey, PS5 owners, after paying $1,750 on eBay to buy a console, they've finished playing their games and they're like, what's actually next? We know games are coming, but we currently don't have any big release dates. Like, if you don't give a fuck about Returnal, like first party or like exclusive stuff, I was thinking, like, if you don't give a fuck about Returnal, you're like, well, where's the date for Hitman? Where's the date for Horizon? Where's the date for maybe some of these indie games that you give a fuck about? Because, like, let's start giving some dates. So it's like, get a state of play, announce some dates, get old mate Jimmy up in there. He'll be like, oh, we've sold this many consoles. It's the biggest launch of our career. Some of that bullshit.
We're getting more stock in as soon as possible.
Yeah, all of that. Like, surely. You know what I mean?
Here is a different color controller.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we've just wrote it. So, Sony.
Yeah. Sony, hit us up.
Hit us up. All right, it is the first episode of Platinum Explosion for 2021, and wouldn't you have it any other way? But we have a Uncharted movie update. Nate, no! That's right. You've probably heard by now, but Uncharted, the movie, whatever the fuck it's officially called, delayed until 2022.
Oh, Nate, no!
After all, I tell you what, I was getting weirdly optimistic at a point there. Like, we ended that last episode last year being like, man, we should retail this segment, cover all the films, TV stuff, which I have another story coming up, so we're kind of there. But until then, it's still the Uncharted movie segment with also other Sony related news in it. But we got to the end of last year. I was like, they filmed the movie.
It's in the can.
It's in the can. I remember thinking at the time, like, there was a period when it was, in the holidays. I remember having a thought at some stage, shower thought probably, where I was like, we're probably due for a trailer in like next couple of weeks.
We like Game Awards.
Yeah, because it didn't.
Tom Holland's booked.
And because it didn't happen, I think that's probably why I was like, we should get it soon. Like, next couple of weeks, surely we get an Uncharted teaser trailer or something.
Nah, instead we got the cherry trailer.
Yeah. And then a delay.
I haven't watched it.
So we got it's been delayed until 2022. So what I find so weird about this is they moved this release date forward at one stage just to delay it. Like,
yeah, why not?
What they were like, so I just want to know who at the movie studio is like, look, we filmed this entire movie in COVID times. That shit was hard, right? But it's going to come out in October. Nah, it'll be solved by then. We'll move it forward to when was it? July. Move it forward to July, and then they got into January of this year, and they're like, "Fuck, delay it till."
I think it's like, we don't have that many visual effects that we need to get fixed and color corrected and all this rendering. We can have it done a couple minutes early. Like, I saw all the articles about crunch culture, and like, oh, we better not.
Fucking, I don't know. It's just so weird. Like, it fits the narrative considering the amount of directors and
Yeah.
This project's always been cursed, so sure.
Why not?
Why not?
One more.
Why not? When we get close to next year,
Listen, Nate
Delay
just
it
needs
again.
to find the special trinket that will solve the curse, and then we're all good.
You know what I'm most disappointed about, though? We did an entire year of Uncharted movie update segments, as much as we could, with the little amount of news that was coming out. Started this entire segment talking about the movie, and the big payoff was going to be, obviously, we would have watched the fucking movie this year. We would have talked about the trailer at some point soon, hopefully. Stuff like that. Instead of like we spent a year talking about it, and then we'll probably get fuck all for the rest of the year because they're not going to release a trailer, obviously.
I know. We'll get other tidbits.
I highly doubt it.
I'll find a way.
I highly doubt it.
Each week, new member of the crew. Give a shout out to.
Yeah, maybe. It's another piece of Sony.
Who was a key grip?
Sure, why not? Another piece of Sony TV movie news that popped while it was off was that they've confirmed a director for the TV adaptation of The Last of Us. Eurogamer writes that Russian filmmaker Kantemir Balagov, I feel like I'm pretty fucking close, to be honest, will reportedly be directing the HBO adaptation of The Last of Us. Although it was initially speculated that production would reunite Chernobyl's Craig Mazin with director Johan Rennick, Hollywood Reporter states that... What?
Johan.
Oh, sorry. You're right. Johan Rennick. Hollywood Reporter states Rennick had to drop out because of a scheduling conflict, and now Balagov is slated to take the director's reins. According to HR, this suggests, quote, HBO is aiming for a serious, dramatic tone for the adaptation, which would make fucking sense. HBO greenlit the new television adaptation of The Last of Us at the end of last year, as well as Maiden. The project is progressing under the watch of games writer Neil Druckmann alongside PlayStation Productions, Word Games, and of course Naughty Dog. Though little else is known about the project, it appears the show will follow the events of the original game with 14-year-old Ellie being smuggled out of quarantine zone by Joel. So Kantemir Balagov, right? You look him up. Hasn't done much by all accounts. He's, in case you couldn't tell by the name, he's a Russian. He is a Russian filmmaker though. Young guy, born 1991, and his films so far are all a couple of shorts, and his last thing was a film called Dilda, which is my name but fucked around, and it's about World War II. And it's got good reviews. PML score of 84. So I think I'm going to...
You talking about Beanpole?
Yeah. I was reading the original game. The original name.
The Russian name.
Yeah. Beanpole, which I have added to my Tracked watch list because obviously...
Because Tracked is the one true source for all your TV and television tracking needs.
Go listen to what you want to watch. And so... Yeah, I feel like obligated to watch this movie now to get a general tone, I guess, of the director's style and this sort of things we come into. So that's one thing we can actually do.
Yeah. And I know you don't like these metrics, but 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, 84% on Metacritic. Pretty good. Yeah. I just like... Won awards at the 2019 Cannes Film Festival when people went to festivals.
And by the looks of it, he was hired off that one movie. I'm not saying that's bad because many people have been hired off one movie. I'm just we haven't seen any of this person's stuff to fill you in yet. But we're gonna watch it. Well, I'm gonna watch it. You gonna watch this?
Maybe.
Don't like
It's weird. It looks like Tilda Swinton's on the cover, and it's not Tilda Swinton.
It's not Tilda Swinton. It is Victoria Miroshnichenko. Shineko.
Sure.
Shineko.
It's available to watch on SBS On Demand right now with ads.
There you go. Public service we're doing for everyone listening to this. And that'll do it for the first ever episode of Platinum Explosion for 2021. Of course, you can let us know any questions, concerns, or comments you have about anything we've talked about in the show. What are you most excited about for playing on PlayStation this year? You can let us all know on either our Twitters by heading to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter, which will take you to all of our Twitters, or the Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord will send you over to our Discord. And if you enjoyed the show and you would like to send us $1 or more, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/support to show your support in a nice little monetary fashion. We shall appreciate it. And until next week, next episode, remember, every trophy counts.
We do this every week?
I'm sorry you didn't know.
It's just the break's been so long.
Yeah, we do fucking podcasts every week.
It's a weekly podcast?
It's hard work, yeah.
How many dollars do we get?
Not enough. That's why I'm asking to get. Hey, don't forget you can subscribe to the show wherever you're currently listening, and you can drop a review if you can. Find more great shows like this and more content over at explosionnetwork.com, and please consider supporting us for as little as $1 over on our Ko-fi page by heading to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thanks for listening.